Alright, so there are different stages to an interaction. Whenever you meet a woman and you're talking to her, you go through these different stages. There are 4 major stages that you go through. The first one is the attraction stage, which is really where you're just curious about the person and they're curious about you. There's the rapport stage, which is where you're building an emotional connection. You're making a transfer of emotion from one person to another. There's the seduction stage, where you're making emotional-based decisions and you're bringing your sexuality out. And then there's relationship balance stage, where you're balancing 4 key core components in a relationship to make sure that it lasts a long time and hopefully forever for you. Now, the question is, how do you know what stage you're in? That's really hard to do, and most guys find it kind of impossible. And we call, what we call in the industry at least, or what I call it, whenever you can see what stage you're in, is we call it seeing the Matrix. Just like in the Matrix, whenever Neo finally sees the numbers and he begins to be able to control his environment after he sees it, that is seeing the Matrix, and that's exactly what it's like. It's not like you see numbers falling down and you can stop bullets, but you can see things before they happen. You can begin to create attraction as it's falling apart. You can take risks in certain areas because you know how to fix it later. You become a superhuman when it comes to attracting women, and it's when you walk into any place that has a large amount of women, a party, a bar, a cafe, even in the park, or, wherever, you are going to feel like you have an atomic bomb in your pocket. Like you just have this superpower that no one knows about. And it's going to give you an amazing amount of confidence, and it's going to compound your success with women. So what I want you to do, in order to start to see these different stages of the interaction, is I want you to recognize other people's body language. You need to study up on body language to see what they mean, so you can actually see this different stage. But the way to do that is to buy The Tao of Badass, which is my new book. I cover all those different stages, plus different body language cues to show you when she's in a different stage and when you're in a different stage in interaction in that book. So you can go to thedaoofbadass.com to see that, as well as other videos like this. But for now, there's a couple key ways you can tell. One is whether or not they're leaning in. If they're leaning in like this and they don't lean away, you're in the stage of rapport, or you may be in the stage of seduction or early seduction. If they're leaning back and they're turning their body away from you, you're in the stage of attraction. Now, I know that may not seem like it seems like a negative thing, but it's not. It's the chasing stage. You have to have that in the beginning of an interaction. If you don't have it, then you're not going to be worth anything to her. When she catches you, she's like, oh, but you weren't running away anyway, so it wasn't really a big deal. You have to seem desired